This program made possible by the following.
Welcome to a new edition of Partners for Community Living at the start of a new year, one that's not been very kind to most of us in the Miami Valley. And during this frigid time, we invite you to spend the next hour or so with us, and why not grab a cup of hot coffee, and if you've got a fireplace, turn that fireplace on and sit down and join in us as we talk about some things that will be happening not only to warm our hearts, but in a little bit better weather, we hope, as we move forward. We're really going to focus on this program on some of the things that the partnership does together, Partners for Community Living. And to do that, we are pleased to welcome Pete Roll, who is the Executive Director of one of our partner agencies, Resident Home Association. And of course, our other partner agency is Choices in Community Living. And Tom Weaver, the Executive Director, is here as well. And we're going to talk about the whys and what fors of some of the things that Partners does, bringing these two agencies together with the community on behalf of people with developmental disabilities. As you may be aware, if you've seen our program in the past, what Pete's agency and Tom's agency does is provide homes for people with developmental disabilities, but it's much more than that. We really work together to enhance the lives of people with developmental disabilities, and that means in all aspects of their lives, whether it's recreation, getting out in the community, going to dances, participating in events, taking vacations, whatever it might be. So we're really dedicated to that. That's a big part of our mission. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that we're going to have as this new year gets underway, and just take you up to about May, I think, of some of the events we're going to have, and not only tell you about them and invite you to join us, and I'll give you a phone number to start off, and we will keep going back to that phone number as the program goes on, 898-3655. If you hear any information that you would like to maybe know more about an event, or how you get tickets, or how you can participate, do call us at that number, and then we'll be able to provide any additional information you may have. So let's start hopefully February. Pete and Tom, we're hoping that January is going to go out like a lion and leave us a lamb in February a little early. But we do have our first primary event, our partnered event, coming up in February. And Pete, we'll let you talk about the fish fry, because it really came about as a result of something that Resident Home had done for many years.
Right. Back in the 80s and into the early 90s, Resident Home operated a fish fry. And the purpose of the fish fry at that time was to earn some money so that we could send residents on vacations at the times that the workshops were closing for the summer. So the workshops would shut down for 2 weeks in July, and we would use the proceeds from the fish fry to send people on vacations. And they weren't extravagant vacations, but you made sure there was money for people to go to ball games. Maybe they would spend a night in a cabin. Sometimes they took trips to Columbus and Cincinnati, maybe down into West Virginia or into Kentucky. But it was a time for the residents to get away. And so it was money that we didn't have in our regular budget. It was something that we earned at the fish fry, and then turned around and used that to supplement people's vacations. And it was something that I think the residents really liked. I know the staff really liked it. And then over time, the fish fry kind of ran its course. We had done it for a number of years, probably close to 15 years. We lost our fish fryer, and we kind of let it go after a while. And then when Partners started, I want to say about 12 years ago now. One of the first things that we did was revive the fish fry, because the fish fry is much, much more than just making money and sending people on trips. It is a fundraiser, but we also consider it a fundraiser. And it's a way for us to put on a nice event, invite members of the community as well as the residents that both agencies serve out to just have a really good night. And it's been very successful over the years. The idea at first was to make sure that we could make enough money to fund our volunteer program. And it has done that to some extent, but not to the extent that we would like. But it has helped us with that, and it's really become an event that is more of a fundraiser for the residents and for the people that attend. And we're very proud of it, and we have a very good time there. And if members of the community would like to come out, I'm sure they would have a marvelous time.
And speaking of volunteers, there are certainly volunteers that night at that fish fry.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if there's anybody that has a better time out there than the volunteers. They're out there with all our games, our casino games. They're out there with the bake sale. They're out there selling our raffle tickets for the baskets. The baskets are amazing. We're going to put Tom on the spot and see if Tom can give us the specifics as to date and time and all those good details that people need.
It's 2014. Sometime in February. No, I do know this one. I got this one.
He's got this one.
February 28th. It's Friday evening. It starts around 6 o'clock when the doors open up and folks can come in. As Pete mentioned, it is indeed a friend-raiser, a fun evening. I remember when I first came to the Dayton area and got back involved in the community, serving people and assisting people with developmental disabilities. My boss at the time said, "Tom, you really need to go to this fish fry." I had no idea, never even been to a fish fry in my life, really, until that time. And I had such a blast, you know, rubbing, playing, and having a great time with the folks that our agency serves, your agency served, and their families and the staff. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time. And it was wonderful when our two agencies got together. We got an opportunity to reconstitute it and put it back together because it kind of cemented our friendship and also, again, made a great time for people to come out and have a good evening. Playing the games, you know, the casino games, and the food. The food is wonderful. You know, the fish is always good, and so people just kind of kick back and buy the pull-offs and play the games, and it's a nice night to just spend time and get to know people and swap stories.
And I can remember being at our very first one, our first couple, and it was so important to us, again, not only that we were raising some funds and having that great night for the people we serve and everything, but it was one of those first events that we were able to do together to bring our staff together and to build them as a team, and to see what they've done since then, and I think that fish fry was so important in doing that and letting them have a great time together and learn about each other and find out that you were all there for a common purpose and all. So our staff are out there and they have board members come and volunteer. So again, as Tom said, the date is February 28th. We serve our dinners from 6 to 9. So if you want to get in on those dinners, you need to get there no later than 9, but hopefully, I mean, we've had occasion when about 8:15, we'll run out of fish because it's an all-you-can-eat. And there are people that love that fish and they'll go back for a second helping and all. So while we say 6 to 9, I think if people got there by 8, you'd be assured that you'd get a good size fish dinner there. So, and then from the games and those other the beer. Tom wanted to make sure we said the beer and those kind of things go on until till 11 o'clock. I think we do our raffle baskets. Last year I think we had 30 raffle baskets and we do those about 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Correct.
And you don't have to be there to win a basket. We will call you and let you know, and you can come pick it up at a later date, or if we're in the area and we're close to you, we can even drop it off or something. This is an event that is open to the public. It is at Wayne Athletic Hall. And the people that live in the Huber Heights area know that building quite well. It's a great community center there, and several years ago when we started it, we had our fish fry there and then weren't there for a few years, and we've been back there now, and it's a great facility for for this type of event. There's lots of space and just the right kind of space for people to mingle and play the games and everything. So
Yeah, actually, I think that the official title of the building, it was the Wayne Boosters Community Center, and now I think it's known as the Huber Heights Athletic Association.
or they got it back to that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's on Fishburg Road. So
Right.
anybody that's
place.
been
Big white
anybody,
building.
anybody that's been in right by the post office.
There you go.
If anybody's been in the Huber area or knows the Huber area, you'll know Wayne Athletic or Huber Heights Athletic and all. You know, the work they do there, of course, is for to support the Wayne football team and the athletics at Wayne High School. But
Judy, it might be good to mention that while we want folks to come just to have a good time, the fund, as Pete mentioned early on, the fund was to send people on vacations, but we try to have the money set aside from this program to support our volunteer program, and that's a very, very important program to our agencies and certainly to the people that we're serving. And so we want folks to know that the money that's raised from this fish fry goes back in towards developing friendships, volunteers who get to know some of the folks that we're serving. We build those networks into the community. We want to do that.
Well, you'll see some of those friendships when you're at the fish fry too, because as
definitely.
Judy said, we have all these volunteers that come in and give of themselves so that, you know, we have the opportunity to produce a few dollars for the volunteer program.
Absolutely.
So, you know, they're volunteers, yet they're volunteers that pay dividends for us in many ways, and we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
And if you are interested, we'll give you the website that you can go on and get all of the information, and then I'll give you some information on tickets as well. Our website is www.partnersohio.com, and you can even order your tickets on that website. It's a secure website, so you don't have to worry about hopefully any breaches like we've been seeing with Target and all the other places. Hopefully we can guarantee that we're secure, more secure than that, and you can order your tickets. Tickets are $13 in advance, so, and again, you can order those online. They are available at the offices of Resident Home Association and Choices in Community Living. If you're in the area, you can stop by anytime. Resident Home is 3661 Salem Avenue, and Tom's administrative offices are at 1651 Needmore Road. So you can stop by there. And if you don't get a chance to do that and you haven't made up your mind and if February 28th gets here and you decide, well, I heard about that great fish fry and we didn't plan anything, so let's go out. Tickets are available at the door. We've got room for as many people as want to show up. It is $15 at the door. So it's $13 in advance and $15 at the door. And if you would want to support our efforts and support the volunteer program and can't make the fish fry this year, one way you could support us that's very beneficial to us is if you would like to make a donation for our raffle baskets. As I say, we have staff and family and friends and area businesses and all that give us gift cards and all kinds of things, but we can always use gift cards and candy and kids games and all kinds of things that we can put in our baskets. Or if you would like to do a theme, a movie night or a pet basket or something of that and donate it to us, we would be most grateful for that as well. So again, you can call us 898-3655 or go to our website again and tell us there's a place for you to send an email, and you could send us an email and say we'd like to donate something for your raffle baskets. And so put February 28th on your calendars. I don't think you'll regret it. It's a great night, and all we're waiting for now is that the weather cooperates with us. And Pete has been in charge of that, so he guarantees us that that things are going to work really well that night. It's going to
do
be
something
warm on
about
the
tonight?
inside for sure.
I wish I had that power. Just wipe this month away and
Wipe
start
it
anew in February.
So it has to be a nice February.
Yes.
But that's our big event, and again, you know, it has a lot of us planning together and everything. That's in addition to all of the work that we do on a normal basis of making sure that homes are running and that the things that have documentation's done and all the things that have to be done. So that's our planned effort together for February. In March, we joined together with the community and the nation really in observing National Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And we're constantly amazed that as much as we think we do and as much as we're out in the community and as much as other agencies do, county boards and things of that nature, there are still people that really don't understand that there are homes in the community for people with developmental disabilities. They don't realize that people with developmental disabilities are working all over the community, that they go to the movies, that they may be out having dinner at right alongside you at your favorite restaurant, that they live maybe next to you in a nice home in a nice neighborhood. And so we use this opportunity to still do our advocacy and to make inroads in acceptance and advocacy on behalf of people who have autism and cerebral palsy and Down syndrome and other disabilities. And it's a really important time. And it's a time we want it to be an outreach as well to the community. It's certainly a time that if you have a church group, a school group, a business group, a social group, that you would like to have someone come out and talk about what our programs do about developmental disabilities in general, what people are doing in the community today, jobs, services that are available, how funding is done, give us a call again at our number, and we'd be happy to schedule someone to come out and meet with your group, and whether it's a luncheon or an evening event or something, and be really happy to come out and spend some time with you to help educate a group, so we can gear that for children to teenagers to adults. And one of the things that we really want to focus on during Awareness Month, and I'll let Tom and Pete talk about it, is a few years ago we produced a statewide advocacy film documentary that's in national distribution all over the country and in Canada. It's in universities and colleges and public libraries all over the country now. It's called Lest We Forget Silent Voices. And I'll let Tom and Pete talk a little bit about the impact of that, and let them talk about how we can make that available to you if you would like us to present that to a group or a class that you might be interested in.
Well, I think it's important to remember that it's not too many years ago when our culture, our society, didn't really understand developmental disabilities very well at all. And because of that, there was a tendency, well, actually what we did is we put people kind of out of sight, out of mind. And so if you were born with a developmental disability, your family doctor probably would have persuaded your parents to put you in a place where other folks with developmental disabilities lived. And we called those places institutions. They were large, large places where 3, 4, sometimes 5,000 people would live together in not very pleasant places, not too unlike a jail. And then, of course, in the 60s and the 70s was a movement created where folks started moving away and from the institutions and moving out into the communities up to where we are today, where it's just, by and large, at least in Ohio and throughout the rest of the country and in most of the world, a person with developmental disabilities has as much right to live in the community and be connected to the community as anyone else. And of course, that's what Lest We Forget is about, is to talk a little bit about what it meant to folks who actually had some of the experience, or their family who had some of the experience of their loved ones or they themselves living in an institution, and what it was like for them to move out and become part of the community again. It's very, very heart touching. It's something that I think that unless you had a chance to see it and experience it, you don't quite understand why we were thinking like that back in those years. But of course, we applaud what we do now, and we know that we need to move even further forward to support people to have equal opportunities to participate in the community as best they can. But it's a huge step forward, and it's a wonderful film. It's very, very telling, very, very close to your heart, and it really gets to you a little bit.
Okay.
And actually, the film is extremely powerful, in my opinion. When you look at what we do today, and we have our websites and we show things about what our two agencies do and the people that we serve, and that's all all well and good, and we're very proud of what we do. But we just didn't start here. This film tells you the way things were and how we progressed to this point, and really tells a story about this wasn't this time of institutionalization was not a good time for people with disabilities, And it pointed out a lot of the issues that those people had to go through and their families. They're really the pioneers, the people that, said, we can't do this anymore. I mean, the whole concept of the film is let's not forget where we started, and more importantly, let's remember where we have to go. So for people that just start in this field as new employees, when they come in and they see modern houses in suburban areas with the flat screen TVs and the dishwashers and the manicured lawns, they think sometimes this is the way it's always been. And that just isn't the case. There was a lot of hard work and dedication by a lot of people, and you two in particular. I mean, you're my elders, so you know much more about this than I do. Tommy actually was in the film, so.
2 years.
But it was it was a very necessary film, and I think just very helpful to people to understand where we were and how far we've come. And yeah, we need to keep pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't think we, even still today, I sometimes lose touch with how meaningful it is. I had the opportunity recently to be part of a person who recently lost their parent, and so they were looking at different places where they could go live. And she and her sister visited this home, and they come and they see that this will be their bedroom, and talking to the staff, and this is how it works, and our staff are there supporting, and all their rights, and the fact that they have a really dignified, nice life. And the two sisters started hugging each other and crying, and concerned that maybe, as what was going on. And the one sister was just overwhelmed with tears of joy because she realized that her sister with a disability would have a really nice place to live and would be treated really, really well. And I lose touch of that sometimes. I think we all do. And if we, until you have to live that kind of a situation through, you just don't know how meaningful it is.
Well, and I know I had a story just this morning of how that film continues to impact people. I was talking to a human resources person at Choices, and she was talking about, for some reason, the film came up, and she was talking about it, and she said that she's always amazed that, that's part of the orientation for new employees at Choices, is that they all have to go into one of the rooms and sit down. If there's just one at a time, or if there are two people, would be two, but each person has to go in and sit and watch that film. And she says she will go in when she knows it's about midway in the film, and she can tell if there's going to be a good employee, an employee that's going to understand what we do and what our mission is and why it's so important what we do in this community and have these community homes, if she sees that person crying. She says if they're not touched by that film, they're not going to be here very long, and they're not going to understand why it is we're here. And so even for a person that's been in the field for many years, it has that impact. It is a film about first-person stories. It's the first time I think that we know of, it may have happened somewhere because we can't know everything that happened everywhere, but we think it's one of the first times that a film actually took the opportunity to sit with people that were in these places in Ohio that were called Gallipolis and Orient and some of the other institutions, Apple Creek and the infamous institutions in Ohio, and actually let them sit in front of the camera and tell their stories, because we could have social workers or psychologists or medical doctors or direct care people that worked with them in the institutions tell you every day, hour by hour, what they did in those institutions. But if you lived there, if that was your home, if that was the only chance you had in life for decades, nobody can tell you that like the people that were there. And so many of the stories in this documentary are people who lived there. And as Tom said, it's also the stories, the forgotten people that were a part of the institutionalization, and that's the mothers and fathers that at that time were told they didn't have a choice. You'll hear a brother talk about how his mother came home and said, when his brother was born and they knew he had disabilities, they said, go home and let him die. we won't feed him, and you just go on with your life as if he never existed. And if you're a parent, to know what that would feel like to have somebody say that to you at any time in a child's life. So again, it's a very, very powerful tool, something we're very proud that this community was a part in putting together, and certainly we want to make it available to this community. So again, if you go back to our website, you can actually see some clips from the film at www.partnersohio.com, and go to the Lest We Forget, and you can see some of the beginnings of some of the interviews. And if that would lead you to want to have some of us come out, the film is 43 minutes long. So it's not overwhelming in its length or anything. We also recommend that it's certainly something that is not for younger children. We're saying high school age and above, because we are talking about the things that happened in institutions and all, and they are not things that young children probably should be learning about at this age. But certainly high school students and above, it's a great learning tool. So do keep that in mind as March gets underway, anytime during March. And Pete, we're going to do a couple of some of the really fun things that we do, but not only fun, but they bring us together and all with a couple of the homes during March. So why don't you talk about Piedmont Home, and then we'll have Tom talk about his 2 homes.
Okay. Well, at Piedmont, Piedmont was a home, that resident home opened, I think it was 1971. So the house has been with us for, what are we talking about, 40 years? So we have the original kitchen still there. And we made a decision before the first of the year that we were going to remodel this kitchen and make it something that the people that live there would be very proud of, as well as the employees that cook meals there. And we were very fortunate that when our former director, Brenda Whitney, retired back at the end of 2008, we had a party for her, and we received some donations on her behalf. So we've taken the money from those donations, as well as some other donated monies and some money that we've had to put in out of operations, and we're redoing a kitchen. We're going to call it Brenda's Bistro, in honor of Brenda Whitney. And right now the project is coming along beautifully. Even with all the cold weather and everything, we're really right in the middle of it. We have a new floor in there now. We have new cabinets in there. We're waiting for the countertops to be installed. So it's really taking shape. And we're very proud of it. So we're going to have an open house, and we're going to invite people there. It's going to be on March the 12th at 5 p.m. And our goal is to have a shower there to maybe help us update some of the plates and silverware and pots and pans, crock pots, things like that, things that haven't been replaced in a long, long time. So we're very excited about it. We're really fortunate to be able to do this for this house, and so it's really something that we're proud of. We're looking forward to, and we invite people out to take a look. Please join us.
And we'll provide dinner.
Absolutely.
We're providing dinner, and it's always a great dinner. And it's always a great gathering when the folks get in, when families come together, and friends from the community and donors and all come together. Tell us a little bit about Piedmont. How many people live there?
Piedmont is it's our house for our seniors, and there's 9 people that live there. Our oldest resident lives there. Her name is Jean. And Jean is, I want to say, 87 or 88 years old now. Born on the 4th of July.
Cool.
And so she, of course, she's our oldest resident there. But it's a mix of men and women. Most of them are in their 60s and 70s, and some are into their 80s. So they've been with us for a very long time. And it's such a pleasure to be able to do this for these people. They just, if you talk to them, they're watching the progress of the kitchen take shape, and as they see this, they're so excited. Every time something new is brought in, they'll come out and tell you, "Did you see the floor? Have you seen the cabinets? Have you looked at the walls?" Just different things, and it's really exciting for them, and it's really a pleasure to be able to do this for that house and for the people that live there.
And so again, the date is?
The date is March the 12th, 5 p.m., 3561 Piedmont Avenue. We would ask that you would call us.
Right.
Call Partners for Community Living and let us know if you intend to
Because of the
come.
dinner.
Because of
we
the
make sure
dinner.
we have enough food for everyone.
Right.
And again, we'll gladly accept new kitchen towels and new crock pots and new, all kinds of the fun things, can openers and whatever. We
Right,
can,
or even additional monetary donations that we can use to either purchase those things or offset the cost of the remodeling job. So we'd be very grateful for anything you could do for us.
And Tom, you're going to have something similar coming following that.
Yeah, similar is, except for us, it's moving into new homes. We had some folks move from the home that we have had and operated on Olive Road, and they moved into their new home out on Abraham Drive, and they'll be moving into the other new home, Levon Court. There was 8 people living at Olive, and they are now moving into those 2 separate homes. They'll be moving into Levon Court probably right around the 1st of February. And they too are very, very excited about that. It's a very nice home. We were very, very pleased to be able to get it. It's close to a park, and I know the guys will just enjoy living there so much. So we're going to have a little open house and housewarming for the 2 of them. I don't think we've set a date yet. It's
I
going
think
to
we've
be
talked somewhere around the first week of April or
April,
so. So we will make
okay.
sure we get that date out too. But if people want to know that, again, we will have that. One of the really good ways to keep up to date with the things we're doing is we talk about going to our website. But one of the things I thought I'd never say I could do is I blog. I never thought, last year when we were updating our website and they said, well, we're going to put a blog on there and you're going to handle this blog. And I thought, oh, sure I am. But it's been one of the more fun things that I've learned to do and everything. So if you go to our website, go at the top to where it says latest news or news and events, and then click on that and it'll go latest news, and that's our blog, and you can run down there and you'll get all the information about all of our events and all, but you'll also see some of the great people that we serve and the fun things. You'll learn about our donors and our sponsors. You'll see pictures on there from people, the great time they had at Christmas in the homes and all. And so when we have Tom's housewarming scheduled, it'll be on there. Of course, Pete's will be on there. We have all kinds of information on there now about the fish fry. And our upcoming events. We're talking about our sponsors for some of our events and all. So, and we're probably on there 2 or 3 times a week putting new stories on. So people who do look at it think, they like reading the stories and they like seeing people doing things and getting to see people doing things just like they do in the community with their friends and their families. So again, go to news and events and latest news, and that'll give you all the updated information on the things we're doing. So please do join us in March for I always am going to do that. Like you say, I am older than you, Pete, or something there. We used to be MRDD before we did away with the mental retardation, but DD Awareness Month, and let us know what you'd like us to do to help and support you. Then right after March.
Well, I think actually they're in the county board having an event in March too. I think the first weekend they're doing a carnival.
A carnival, and
I think it's the first Saturday in March at the Coliseum.
Down by the Montgomery County Fairgrounds.
Right,
yeah.
And they used to do a chili cook-off on that weekend, but they've decided they wanted to move to a different event. So now they're doing a family carnival, and I think people would have a great time.
And
at
that's
that
always
as well.
open to the public.
Always open to the public. I don't have all the details, but I'm sure if you got on the county board's website,
right,
then they could give you some information about that as well.
Definitely. And yeah, watch for the other organizations around the area and all, because
Right.
a lot of organizations use this as an opportunity to share not only what they do, but what the people that they are serving, what they're doing in the community and everything. So please do stay in touch with us during March. One of my favorite things comes up in April, and because it's just such a powerful message to me. I mean, it really resonates with me, and that's 7th year now we're going into, and I can't believe it. We were sitting here the first year talking about it with Bob Archer and people from Toward Independence. But when we talk about partnership and we talk about Tom and Pete's agencies being partners, they are founding partners of Partners for Community Living, but we don't close ourselves off to just these two agencies. Whenever we have the opportunity to reach out and partner with another agency in the community, we jump on that opportunity. We've done several things with the county board. I've really been happy to be able to do some joint efforts. And for the 7th year, we've partnered with Toward Independence, which is a similar agency. They're headquartered, they have programs, I believe, in Montgomery County as well, but they're headquartered in Greene County. And we have partnered with them for planning and coordinating the Art and Soul Juried Art exhibit. And it's coming up in April. And Pete and Tom get to be there. They not only get to choose an award, a director's award with the director from Toward Independence, but they're out there. They'll be watching with the judging and be there that night as well to present awards and everything. So, what are some of the things that you've thought about watching the various receptions for our Art and Soul exhibit?
Well, I guess one of the things that jumps out at me, first of all, is just the quality of the art. You know, some of the folks, you know, you would never guess that this person was developmentally disabled, because the art is so extremely, I think, it would be something I'd pay and buy, and have. As a matter of fact, Judy and I usually fight over a piece of art. You know, I say, I want this, and the next thing I know, Judy's walking out the door with it. She bought it before I did. But no, it just, the quality of the art is always so good, and it's so hard to choose which ones that we like the best, because they're always so good. And
all beautifully framed. That's part of where the sponsorships come in, is that we frame and mat. We get more than 200 pieces from a 22 county region every year, and 3 professional judges in various media come in, and they don't know who the artists are, they don't know what their disability is, they don't know the level of their disability, all they know is the artwork. And they pick 40 pieces from all those that are entered, and those go into the opening reception and are up for a 2-week exhibit. Tom, or Pete, I know you've had some great experiences there.
Well, that event, I think, is just, it's a unique event unto itself. I guess for me, what is really powerful, there are a couple of things, but you know, you have the sense of pride and anticipation of the artists themselves. They come there, a lot of them know that their paintings or their artwork has been selected, but the sense of pride of having a piece of work that you have created placed on a wall in an art gallery, and then have the judges tell you that you've won a prize because of the quality of your work, is just unbelievable. And you know, that you don't have to have a disability to appreciate that. I'm sure there's a lot of starving artists around that have great pieces of artwork that never get this opportunity. But so for the folks that we serve and the folks that participate out of this 22 county area, it's just fantastic. And I have had a couple of people that we serve become recipients of some of the prizes, as has Tom. And it's not something like we're just giving everybody a prize. You know, sometimes when you get into, you know, sporting events for kids, everybody gets a trophy. This isn't about that. This is about,
It's juried.
It's a juried art show, and it's about a piece of work that stands on its own. And it's just so unbelievably nice and exciting for the people that we serve to be able to be a part of this. And it's just a great opportunity for folks.
And you talk about partnering. 7 years we have been at Town and Country Fine Arts Center out in the Town and Country Shopping Center, and it's been amazing. I think the first year they may have had just a hint of skepticism about, okay, we're an art gallery here, and what are we going to do if we have this art coming in? But after that first exhibit, and they saw the quality of the work and everything, there's never been a hesitation, and they just thoroughly enjoy having that art on display for 2 weeks in their gallery.
Very
and,
supportive. And they usually sell quite a bit of it.
And the pieces sell. You can go into the center after the opening reception and purchase one of the pieces if it's still there, and the Town and Country folks will take that and take the money for. And the artists get it. We don't take any of that money back. you know, that any money they earn from the sale of their work is their money, so they are paid professional artists at that point.
Absolutely.
And you can't put a price on that when you see what that does for them. And we can't stress enough the quality of the work. You know, to me, that's the most basic form of communication. You know, we have people that sometimes it's hard for us to understand, and even people that we've known for years, but if somebody meets somebody for the first time, maybe they don't understand because their verbal abilities aren't that high or something, but art is a universal language. You look at it and anybody can speak it.
And it's an expression of their heart, and it comes out quite often
and translates,
in the way
yes.
they put it
And so this year, for the 7th annual exhibit, we will be out there gratefully at Town and Country again. The opening reception is April 4th at Town and Country from 6 to 8, and we have probably the best hors d'oeuvres, and I mean, it's just set out. It's a beautiful reception area, wine and punch and wonderful hot hors d'oeuvres and cold hors d'oeuvres. It's open to the public at no charge. Lots of people from the neighborhood stop over to see the art. They know it's happening. They come over, and some of them even walk away with the art and everything. So please put that on your calendar if you're anywhere in the Kettering area, or if you're anywhere in the region and want to see some good art and want to feel what it is to see what art can do to bring people together. Come out to our Art and Soul exhibit. It's made possible by sponsors, and every year we're so pleased that some of the same sponsors have stepped forward. Montgomery County Board, the Greene County Board, Butler County Board, the Hamilton County Board. I'm going to miss one of them. I'm going to be in trouble or something here, but have come forward and sponsored. We've even, the last few years now, we have some individuals that are, and some families that are coming together and are joining us as Art and Soul sponsors or patrons. And for a $100 donation, they become a patron. And one of the things when Tom and Pete talk about the awards, not only do they get an award, you know, a certificate that says you were best of show or 10th place or whatever it is, they get a cash award. And that money comes from our Art and Soul patrons. So again, you can go to our website and make a secure donation and say, I want to be an art patron for Art and Soul. So there's an opportunity for you to get involved as well. As we're getting a little closer to the end here, let's not leave out May. It seems like it's a long way away, but it really isn't when we're doing our planning and everything. And we had an event last year, and it turned out, I think we had a lot of anxiety before it started and everything, but it turned out to be, I think, probably it just came together. It was just like it was meant to be, and the people that came together with us, it was just like, this is what we've been waiting for and all. So why don't you tell us about Dining with the Stars?
Well, we had an event last May, and then we're going to continue it again this May, called Dining with the Stars. And the whole idea behind Dining with the Stars is to ask local celebrities, TV personalities, radio personalities. Last year we had some affiliations with UD basketball coaches and a car dealership and some others, and those people actually acted as our celebrity waiters and went around and waited on the people that came in to patronize the event. And you know, you have these people out of their element. You know, they're not in front of a mic, or they're not coaching a basketball game, or they're not selling cars, yet they come out there and they wait on your table. And actually they did an amazing job, and they worked. They worked for 4 solid hours, and you know, we had 2 seatings, and we had an auction in between. So it was a really nice event, well attended by the community. It was at Tie 9. It will be at Tie 9 again this year. It's just a really nice event, good food, a lot of fun. The celebrity waiters are really, really good people. They're very entertaining. If you were to come to this event, you would not be disappointed. You would have a great time. And most importantly, it really supports a good cause. So we would really hope that you can find time to join us then.
Yeah, what a fun night. It was a fun night.
Pete and Tom had a good time that night.
Yeah, I think we sang a duet
They
at
sang
one point.
their duet,
We
of
were
I Feel
challenged,
Pretty, but it was only for a good tip. Now, we don't do these.
For a really nice tip, we both
Yeah.
put boas on and sang, I forget the song.
I
that
Feel
we
I Feel
sang,
Pretty.
But I Feel Pretty.
I think it was really I Feel Silly.
Well, we were silly, but it was, but no, it was, certainly our, big thanks to, Nancy and Fry Guy and all the gang that you mentioned,
Yeah.
from WHIO and all the help that they did to helping us put that together. It was a wonderful night, and we did a pretty good night of raising some funds. Again, going back into helping the programs, the wish list, and all of the things that we do to support people with disabilities. And we certainly invite the community to come out again, and we want to make it even bigger and better and have more fun than we did last year.
And this year's event is Wednesday. Usually you're talking about a Friday or something. This is Wednesday, May 14th at Tie 9 down in the Oregon District. And the wait staff and the management at Tie 9 go beyond anything that's expected of them to make sure last year that this was a very successful event. And I think their wait staff had as much fun working with our celebrity waiters, but they all worked hard. That was a hard night for them, but it was busy, and a great night. May 14th. Right now, we can tell you some of our waiters. Nancy Wilson's coming back, and Fry Guy from K99 Radio. We have John Paul, for those of you who get up early in the morning and watch WHIO television. You'll know John Paul, he'll be there. Gabriel Enright, who is WHIO television as well. If you listen to WONE radio to hear the Bengals calls, Chick is going to be there. Chick Ludwig is going to be there, and I don't think he'll be calling any Bengals calls at that night, but
You never know.
you never know what may be
We
happening.
might carry in a football
and all kinds of things like that. So, last year, I know one of the things we still, every time we talk to Fry Guy, he says, now, you know what I did for you people, don't you? And somebody offered a very hearty tip for him he doesn't like fish. And period, he doesn't like fish, no matter what it is. And somebody offered a very nice tip if he would eat a piece of sushi, which is raw, of course. And for the cause, he downed a piece of sushi, and he said for us he'd do it again.
Now, we never did tell him Nancy did that, did we?
We didn't tell him who it was that did that, but and I think
He
when
knows now.
when we're talking about Nancy, I think all of the people that come out and supported. Oh, Larry Hanskin from
Larry
WHIO
Hanskin.
Radio, he was wonderful at
Wonderful
helping us
support.
MC the event that night. Just so gracious and so open and everything. But there has not been a thing. I don't know. I don't want to put years on it because we don't want to embarrass Nancy with age or anything. But for many, many, many years, any time that I think any agency in this community that serves people with disabilities that has come to her, I don't know where she finds the time, but she has been there, and she has certainly been there for us. I mean, she was a guiding force behind us getting the people together last year.
She was.
She pulled Larry together, and she pulled Fry together, and she got them. Her excitement is what got everybody excited and everything. And so, we say to anybody that's listening, please listen to Nancy on 99. There's not a better community person in the media anywhere in this region than Nancy Wilson. And if you get a chance to come out and meet with her and talk with her and just have a great night with her, please do that. We do have this is again one of those events that you can sponsor. We have sponsorships anywhere up from $100 on up, so you can be a star sponsor, a bronze sponsor, a silver, gold, and platinum. So we have comp management systems we have strategic employee benefits services, Iron Gate Realtors. Do you have some confirmed yet?
Not confirmed yet, but I'm sure
working on
McGowan-
some of the ones from last year.
Yeah.
Last year we had McGowan Braybender. We had Reality Asset Management.
We had Superior Dental, we had Unum Life Insurance,
So some good community support from area business. So
And
this
all
is
the
something that a business
supporters,
could come
we
together.
plastered our name all over the websites and all over our literature. You
And
know,
on
so
the
that they
invitation, a
can-
really nice, nice high glossy invitation that went out to people with our waiters and all our
With the
sponsors'
community, yeah.
logos. So this is an opportunity for a business to get out there and get your name seen and be seen as supporting a great cause as well. So again, May 14th at Tie 9. Call that telephone number and we'll get you set up to receive an invitation and make sure that you get that in time to get it back to us, and come have great food and just a night that you'll enjoy. We guarantee you enjoy this night. So, and I think that's probably going to give us enough for. So we've got February.
February, March, we got into
So
April
what's
there.
February is Fish Fry.
Fish
Fish
fry.
fry.
March is all our DD awareness
DD
activities. And
Awareness Month. We have the Piedmont Open House with their new kitchen. There's the carnival that the county board's putting on. And
Open house with Abraham, Levon Court, and Art and Soul in
April 4th and May 14th. And in one of our upcoming programs, we'll be talking in June. We can't go a month and see. In June, we'll be talking about our annual bowl-a-thon that's out at in Beaver Creek at Beaverview. Another great partner with us that welcomes us and makes sure that we have a great time out there. So we'll be talking about the bowl-a-thon out there and one of the fun things too. And I know Pete, you and Pam are already planning for October for Beer Fest
for our
again.
beer festival, right?
What, third annual already?
No, this will be this. I think this is number 6.
Oh, wow.
This is number 6.
Where is time?
Time is
Time is getting
flying.
away from us.
But you know, the other interesting thing, I know that it's frigid outside, the temperatures are very cold, there's snow on the ground, but we expect to receive our Dayton Dragons baseball tickets here in the next month or so, and that is a huge thing for our residents because they love going to Dayton Dragons baseball games. So if you need something to look forward to and you want to think about, a warm time or a better time of year, not just with the events that we have coming up, but maybe thinking about the Dragons will give you a thought about springtime.
I know Tom's got a couple of games that we've got some groups reserved to go to a couple of games already to the Dragons that come from the wish list.
Yeah. Well, and the Dragons, but I think we also ought to mention, we had a large group went to WW Wrestling last week, and I got 2 calls from some of the folks, individuals that we support, calling me, telling me what a wonderful time they had going to that event. And that was funded primarily by wish list
By the
monies,
wish list.
for those folks.
And we talk about the wish list, and if you haven't joined us before, what's really incredible to me is the bowl-a-thon is the primary fundraising event for the bowl-a-thon. The proceeds come directly into that, but the employees at Resident Home and at Choices in Community Living make they have the opportunity, we offer them the opportunity to make an employee pledge at the end of each year, and they choose a level that they want to pledge, and it's taken out of their paychecks each pay period. And half of that money goes that they pledge goes to help us with our partners' activities, and the other half goes directly into the wish list. And what the wish lists are designed to do is have money in there for people to do things or to get things that when there's no other funds available. We try every other funding source. We go to Medicaid, we go wherever we can to see if there's a funding source, and if there is, we use that. If not, we go to our wish list. And we talk about the fun things like the ball games and how those add to the quality of life. And we're so committed to making sure we add to the quality of life for people so that wrestling and ball games and going to the theater and going to concerts are very important. But when it comes down to being able to put shoes on people's feet and buy a new coat, especially in a winter like this, or somebody comes and is a new person and what they've got is the clothes on their back, and we say, well, there's money in that wish list, they're going to go get new clothes. Or at Christmas, not only the great donations from the wonderful people that supported us, but there was money in the wish list to make sure that there wasn't a person at Resident Home or Choices that did not get something from Christmas. And just real quick, you want to say a quick thank to dermatologists and everything for their Christmas, and because we're going to wrap up in just really quickly here.
Okay.
But just talk about the generosity of the groups that did your.
Well, we have a nice contact, a lady that used to work at Dermatology of Southwest of Ohio by the name of Linda Hackett. And Linda and the employees and the doctors there put funds together to go buy gifts for the people that we serve. Not everybody, but the people who would otherwise do without. So out of the goodness of their hearts, they went out with shopping lists. They bought a lot of gifts for our folks. They gift wrapped them, put cards on them, brought them into our office, and we were able to distribute those at Christmas time, and really made Christmas a nice time of year for people that otherwise wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Nice.
So it is really a nice and touching thing that they've done. And it wasn't just this year. They do it year after year, and we're just so grateful for them. The relationship and the help that they give us is just very, very wonderful.
And I believe CareSource also made some
CareSource
donations
is
as
a new one. And actually, you talk about having your events. CareSource approached us after our beer festival in 2013 and said, hey, if we get together, can we help provide some gifts to some people? And we said, sure. And of course, they followed through. And again, they bought things not only just for the clients, but also for the homes, so that everybody there could play a game, play a Wii game, do some bowling, and things like that. So we have some really good people in this community that care. And it's so nice to be the recipients of those things, because we desperately need those things, and our folks truly appreciate them.
And talk about even the individual volunteers that went out to the homes and put up holiday decorations,
yep.
And the one gentleman that cooked a meal.
Yeah,
Went into a home and cooked a meal for for the staff as well.
Right.
Because he wanted to make sure that the staff felt appreciated.
Well, that was David Casey, and he did a great job. It was for the Piedmont House. And of course, now we've kind of roped Dave into coming back and dealing some Texas Hold'em at the fish fry.
Yes.
So
that's circle.
Yeah,
that
that's
wonderful
circled back.
circle comes back.
But then
yeah.
he's evened up the ante, because he says he thinks he's going to set the record for number of fish fry tickets sold. So I guess we'll find out.
We'll just let him take on that challenge.
Absolutely.
We welcome that challenge again. So again, as we wrap up in frigid January, we are hoping for bright things beginning in February. And even if it doesn't turn out to be really warm in February, it's going to be warm inside wherever we're doing all of our events and activities. We do wish that you would just come out just for one event. Just come out, pick one that sounds like it would be the most fun for you and your families. And I think once you come out, you'll be hooked. No pun intended with the fish fry here, but come out and join us. I think you'll just have a wonderful time with us. Call us at 898-3655, or do go and visit our website. Do it on a frequent basis so you can see what we're doing, www.partnersohio.com. There are so many good people in this community doing so many good things, and so many people whose hearts and lives are enriched because people do come together for the benefit of a better community for all of us, and we would welcome you to be a part of that. Until we have the opportunity to get together, stay warm, stay safe, and please do join us again for Partners for Community Living.